G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today I am pumped. It's exciting. We got a head-to-head and a big one that that sounds wrong, but a big one a lot of people want to see. What we're going to be checking out is the EMAX Tiny Hawk, which is like their brand new 1S brushless little micro racer, and we're also going to be putting it head-to-head against the MOBULA 7. Now, if you want to see my review of this, you can go watch that. A little card should pop up there. This thing is pretty insane, like the speed you get from this. But this one, so many people are like, Stuart, can you please compare it to the Tiny Hawk? And that's what this video is. So we're going to put it on the bench, quickly break it down, look at some of the text, talk about the pros and the cons, because it does do some things differently. And this video, it's aimed at giving you the right information. You might not be up, winter might be coming where you are, and the days are getting shorter. You want to fly something you can fly indoors or just smaller spaces. You've already got your 5 inches. What this video is all about, it's the right information to find out what is the correct brushless whoop for you. Now look, some of these are different. We're going 2S to 1S, and some people might say that's an unfair comparison, all that sort of stuff, but this has been one of the most requested things on my video. Please put these two head to head. Which one should I be getting, Stuart? So we're going to go through, talk about the pros and cons of them, and then go have some fun with Grumpy Trev, fly around the same track so you can see, you can compare that footage side by side as well and find out what's the right brushless whoop to get. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's stick it on the bench and very quickly go through the specs, and then we'll go out, have some fun, and check out some cool footage. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, here it is on the bench, the EMAX Tiny Hawk, and as a bit of an overview, what this is, it's a bind and fly, little micro size, I'm going to say whoop class, FPV brushless 1S racer. It's designed to be taken out of the box, fly around, have a ton of fun. I think primarily it is designed for indoors, plus with a little bit of outdoor capabilities as well. Now, first things first, we're going to stick it on the scales. I'll tell you how much it is. Take your guesses. It's coming in about 28 grams with a battery coming in at 41 grams. So a very, very comparable sort of weight to the MOBULA 7, which we'll talk about a little bit as well. That one, we're not going to be going through the, the components of this one, because you can go watch that other video that I linked before. Anyway, so what this is, we're going to quickly go through some of the components, talk about what you get, the pros and the cons, some of the design features, because it does do some things differently, and I've seen some other videos. There is things that people aren't saying that I want to point out to you viewers as well, which I think is really important to get that information across. Now, what you get in the kit, you get a 450 milliamp 1S battery. This one is designed to run on 1S with a MOBULA 7. That's designed for 2S. You do get a little charger with it as well. I seem to have misplaced it. Here it is. You got this little charger as well. It's going to be fine if you just got one battery. What I really recommend, I really like these chargers. So I'm going to link this down below, and very quickly we'll go through this. I've done a whole video. I should pop up right there, but you just simply plug in your battery, and then it starts charging, gives you a readout as it's going through. I'm a huge fan, so I think I take these chargers with me, I should say, to the park, have them on the bench next to me. You can get flights for days if you're just constantly rotating your batteries, and they're pretty cheap. But enough of the chargers, Stuart. That's the boring bits out of the way. Let's go through, talk about some of the components quickly, and then the important part, there's some design features and pros and cons that you do need to be aware of. Now, the first component I want to go through is the actual frame itself. Now, EMAX, I think, has been really clever here. They've got this little frame. It's done in a sort of way that I'm going to say is upside down, or we're not really used to this sort of props underneath pushing out, so that's a smart way. It's very stiff, but also it's got a little bit of flex, so it shouldn't be too brittle, but should still hold its structure very well in its flight. Underneath that, you can see this is where we've got our props and motor combo. Now, the motors themselves, they're 802s. I think they're 15,000 kV. Yeah, 15,000 kV, which is a little bit, I guess, very similar to this size here. These are 802s, but these are 16,000 kV, so a little bit of a higher kV on this one. And of course, the props here, this is something that is special, and I think is a pro and a con. These are really well designed. I love the way they go onto the top. I'll put a picture on the screen. They sort of click into the top and stop the props from, I guess, slipping around, but also at the same time, these props, the availability, I'm not too sure how much they're going to cost and how available they're going to be, and you might not be able to get replacements easy, or some, I guess, third-party replacements, where these props, very, very easy to replace. This one, you sort of, at the moment, because this is a new design, and I don't know if this is some of the marketing of EMAX, it's clever business. You've kind of got to get their official props in order to do that. So I don't know what the price is going to be like, but beware, if you're looking for some aftermarket parts, it might be a little while before we get some cheaper props in. Towards the middle, this is pretty similar stuff. This is where we've got our all-in-one flight controller receiver built in. It's rocking D-Shot with some little 4-in-1 ESCs in there. It does have an F4 chip, which is fantastic, so that's something to take note of, but I guess the proof is in the pudding and how well that actually flies, whether you need an F3 or an F4. On top of that, we've just got our little camera VTX, and you can see they actually run the antenna on the inside, and this camera, it's 25 milliwatts, but it does have some channels that are locked out by default, so you need to hold the button down while you plug it in order to unlock your VTX if you want to get a lot of the E-band, all that sort of nonsense. nonsense, which, look, I find that a little bit frustrating. I don't know the decision. And then the other part that's probably worth mentioning, like this, you know, I really like how you can just plug these motors in and out. So I'm a big fan of that. It makes replacing these motors, unscrew them, plug them in, that part's very easy. So that's the components quickly broken down. Oh, and I guess you got this little part. This is where you slide your battery underneath, hook it up, all that sort of stuff. But for me, let's move on and talk about, I guess, the designer thing. I really like the frame design. I think that is very, very clever. I love the way they're doing it. The push-on props, all that sort of stuff. I like these props. I think they're well designed. The decision to go 1S in a market when a lot of things are coming out 2S, well, that's a very, very tough one to go up against, because you've seen the power of this thing, and now with this on the market, maybe they'll come out with a 2S version, but around the house, indoors, 1S is going to be more than enough. I still expect it to be very quick because these props have a large surface area, very, very good motors on here. But I do feel like there are some things lacking in this design, so things I would like to change. And I guess that brings us on to the pros and the cons. So the first one, well, the price. The price is pretty comparable, but it sort of depends on what you're after, so I'm going to leave that up to you, you know. But one con I really don't like about this one is you don't have really any option to tilt your camera up and down. So if you're after a little speed demon, you kind of, where's flat? So if we're going along, that's sort of it, where I know on the MOBULA 7, you can absolutely crank it. This thing goes very, very fast, and because you can adjust it for indoors or outdoors, it does make it a little bit easier on the MOBULA 7 to adjust your camera angle. For me, that's a huge, I wish EMAX would fix that up, because not everyone wants to fly at this angle. Who's buzzing me? Oh, it's Trevor. Trev, I'm just filming. What's going on, mate?
Not much.
Do you want to go for a fly in a little bit?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, can I buzz you back in a couple of minutes, mate? I just want to finish this video.
Yeah, do it. No worries.
All right, catch you, mate. Trevor interrupted my filming. Anyway, where I was up to, yeah, so I really wish you could adjust the camera. And then the other part, which I find, I wish people mention this a little bit more in some of the other reviews. These props are great, but at the moment, you're going to be sort of stuck to getting official EMAX props. So look, I'm all about consumers having a bunch of options, and that's what I liked about this one. Those props are very readily available, that sort of style. This new style I think is fantastically designed, but just be prepared that I don't know how expensive they're going to be for these custom props as they're new to the market. So that's something to think of as well. But that's it on the bench. That's the boring stuff. What we really want to do, you've seen this one fly around. Let's go fly the Tiny Hawk. We're going to fly it around indoors. I want to take it out to the park as well. I'm going to take it to the same park where I flew this. You can sort of compare some of the footage side by side, find out how it's going to be, and we'll talk about the indoors, outdoors, head over to Grumpy Trev, all that sort of stuff to let you know what is the right whoop going to be for you coming into this new flying season, indoors or the winter season. What one is going to be the best choice for your situation? Because I'm telling you, both of these things do something better than the other, but I guess that's where only you can decide with the right information. Rightio, out here in the field, glorious day. I'm absolutely loving this park for this whoop size FPV action. What we do, let's show you some DVR from the Tiny Hawk. I'll compare it to the MOBULA 7 a little bit as well. Now head over to Grumpy Trev and see what he thinks. All right, let's do it. Okie dokie, here we go, on board with some DVR with the Tiny Hawk, and I know some people are going to be upset and say, Stuart, that's not fair. How dare you compare a 1S to a 2S quad? You don't think they're going to be the same? Well, you know what? That's what people want to see. They want to know the comparison is what is the best brushless whoop, and these are two great options, so that's why these two are going head to head. If you don't like it, look, you can rage down in the comments below, but my viewers, they want to find out which one is the one to get. So that's what this video is all about. Now, on speaking of the flight characteristics of the Tiny Hawk, it is very, very smooth. It's very stable out of the box. I did need to adjust my rates a little bit because they were very, very beginner friendly. And I'm going to say for 1S, it's probably the best 1S option out there. You know, it's great to fly around. The camera's clear, you know, OSD, all that sort of stuff. And it does handle nicely in the air, but it just felt lacking. Like this is it, sort of felt like it was going top speed a lot of the time. And I did find throttle management easy, but it's in a difficult situation where now with these two, you know, so you can see that's the full punch there. I found myself really needing to smash, like I'm in the 90% of the throttle quite a lot of the time. And when you want to go fast, you've really got to hold it up there, you know, towards the top of the sticks the whole time. So that's it in full climb, and it just doesn't have, for me, the pop that you like. Now, a big one about the MOBULA 7, which you'll see just a little bit of DVR in a minute, because I'm not going to go through the whole flight of the MOBULA 7, because you've already seen those videos, but you're going to see it has so much more power, it's more responsive, and the beauty is, if you put that thing on 1S, well, then you've got a nice tame indoor flyer. But this one is stuck in that sort of, I've got to say, that's like the best over and under I've ever done. I was really worried. You don't have the power to pull out of things like that as well with the Tiny Hawk. So for me, The MOBULA 7, you're going to see in a moment, just has so much more pop. So right here it is flying around. You can see the throttle on the right-hand side where it was right up there the whole time on the Tiny Hawk. For this, it's just got power, but when you really smash the sticks, it feels kind of representative, a little bit of a 5-inch the way it punches that. I do a power loop here. This is the sort of stuff you could never do that. Look how far that goes back. Look how far that does that on the MOBULA 7. And then here we go. Let's finish this with a bit more Tiny Hawk footage. So for me, it's in a weird place. And if you had to, you had to ask me, Stuart, which one do you want? Which one do you prefer? I'm going to say an EMAX isn't going to like this. I prefer the MOBULA 7. Yes, the Tiny Hawk. Look, it's an amazing craft. If you got one, well done. You're going to have a blast. It's absolutely fantastic. But the game has changed a little bit when it comes to this, the power and the versatility. Some of the others, and I feel it's just a tough time. And the MOBULA 7 has so many options. And for me, the performance and the versatility between 1S and 2S. So I'm sure EMAX isn't like that, but isn't going to like that. But I don't work for them. I work for you guys. So anyway, that's just my opinions and my findings. If you do have a Tiny Hawk, it still is an awesome fun craft. And I'm going to say on 1S, yeah, it's probably the best option we've got for a 1S. But that's not all our options now. We can push it up to 2.
Alrighty, Dev Trev, here it is, the Tiny Hawk. What do you think? From EMAX, it's a 1S, whoop size sort of class. What's your first impressions?
It'd be good if it had a camera.
Jokes aside,
oh
yes.
look, there it is.
Upside down. But yeah, they're doing things a little bit different. So this one's sort of pushing, most of the time we're pulling. But yeah, what's your first impressions?
Well, you might be doing that, Stu.
Okay.
It's very neat. I love the build quality of this thing. Look, so far so good. If it flies as good as it looks, it's going to be a goer.
Right. And we're also going to compare it. I'm going to ask you a bit about the MOBULA 7 because I know you've been loving yours as well. So I want to compare this to that because a lot of people want to know what's the brushless whoop they should be getting this winter. So that's what I want to know as well.
This only being 1S, I don't reckon it's going to go anywhere near as fast as the MOBULA, but
well, you're just going to have to see, mate.
Let's see. Let's whack a battery on
and see how it goes. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
No, that's better. All right, he's away.
Yes. Nice little camera. It goes all right. For a 1S, it's pretty fast.
What is that noise?
Very nice camera. Love the colours. Quick. It's certainly quick for 1S.
Quicker than the MOBULA 7?
On 1S?
Yeah, okay, on 1S.
On 1S, gee, I tell you what, we'll have to do a test on that. I think we'll go head to head soon.
All right, what about quicker than a MOBULA 7 on a 2S?
No way.
Okay.
No, it's about half the speed. But look, it's nice to fly. Hey, I tell you what, I really like how compact the design is in this. It's very smooth. There's no oscillations. Look, for a 1S, I'm not comparing it with the MOBULA because that's a 2S one. This is probably the best 1S I've flown. It's very pointy, like it goes where you want it to go, hits the gaps.
Is it easy to fly?
Oh, it's great. Oh, gee, I reckon it's great to fly.
Who would you recommend this one to?
Oh, anyone that wants to fly inside or outside. It's actually this. I don't know how you go inside. You might need a bit of expo on this because it's pretty fast. Outside, you're going to have a ball with this thing.
Would you? Okay, this is a big question though. So you're saying this one's fun, but would you recommend this over the MOBULA 7?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, hang on, I'm just going to get, you've just seen you landed, 1 sec. Rightio, Trev. So I want to get your, in terms of performance, what would you give that out of 10?
Look, probably a 7. It does go quite well. Yeah, look, value for money, probably about a 7. They're not overly expensive, but you can get a MOBULA for around the same money. So.
All right, that kind of, I've got mine just here and you've got yours. We've got a few here today.
Yeah.
So this is really what I want to know, that a lot of this video is going to be about which one of these would you recommend and why, and is one better than the other at a certain environment or anything like that. So if you had to pick for your circumstance, which one would you be getting?
Well, the MOBULA, because you can fly it on 1S as well, but just by shorting the other terminal out on the battery terminal.
That's my charger going off, don't worry.
And yeah, this is like 2-in-1. This is a 1S and 2S, and this goes like a cut cat, no kidding.
What about in terms of performance? Can you quantify them versing each other?
Look, on 1S, I don't know, we haven't tested that yet, but I reckon they'd probably keep up with each other on 1S, but yep. This thing's a rocket on 2S, so it's going to kill this thing for If you want something that's going to perform outside and inside, this is something to go for, the Mobulus. Not, what do you call that thing?
Mobula.
Mobula, or yeah. This thing's all right, but no, I'm sorry, I'd have to go for this.
Okay, no worries. Thanks, Trevor.
The only other thing I don't like this either, you can't really adjust the camera. I can't see how you do it. No, these things just
What about the push design versus the pull design?
Oh, well, look, yeah, it's novel. I just like the compact size. It looks really, really good.
I do think it looks better as well.
But this in a 2S like this, yeah, okay, that'd be different. But it's not. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Trevor's pick.
Oh, this one, absolutely.
All right.
The
guys.
Mobula.
Thanks, JT.
Yeah, so there it is. There's my review with the EMAX Tiny Hawk, and they're probably not going to like what I'm going to say next, but the big part, my job for you guys is to make reviews so you can have the right information to make the right decisions. And the big question, Stuart, if you had to pick one of these, which one would you get and why, and what are the pros and cons of both? Well, straight off the bat, which one would I get? You can probably tell I would get the MOBULA 7. Like when I'd finished, this was the one I flew the most. I've been putting so many packs through this. This is not a bad craft though. The Tiny Hawk is still very, very nice to fly. I'm going to say it is the best 1S swoop out there because it does perform very nice on a 1S. It's very smooth, easy to fly, but it just doesn't have the speed. I don't like it how you're going to have to go out and you're probably going to have to buy some more batteries as well, because not everyone has this type of battery lying around, where a lot of people do have the one that plug into the MOBULA 7. I don't like the non-adjustable camera, the proprietary props. You also don't get a spare pair of props, which, you know, that's another bit of a letdown. So there's quite a few things about this drone that I would like to see it improve. Now for me, the MOBULA 7, all the way, all those things, adjustable cameras, standard props, you can use the batteries you've already got, and it goes ridiculously fast. You've seen it rip around. For me, that's the one I'm going to be using, and you can use it on 1S as well. So if winter's coming, you've been waiting for this video to find out which whoop is right for you, that's my pick. They're the reasons, but you might feel otherwise, and that's what I want to start this discussion down below. Which one do you think is best? Which one? Why would you choose that one? Is your circumstance different? All that sort of stuff. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. It's probably not the review that EMAX was hoping for, because I know there's been some other videos out there where it's been nothing but praise, but look, they were just my findings, so hopefully I don't upset too many people. I almost choked. Other than that, subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying! This is a message just for EMAX. What I really want to see, please make this 2S, give us an adjustable camera, and then I think you're onto something special. And some spare props too. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page, because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAVfutures family, there's things like bonus velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.